Billy Batson, the Earth's mightiest mortal, is back again in a brand new series courtesy of legendary writer Mark Waid and superstar artist Dan Mora. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Shazam issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we're treated to one hell of a sight. It's Shazam riding on a giant T-Rex. Well, you know what they say, make that first page count to really hook readers. This whole dinosaur business only takes a crazier turn too when we discover that Shazam wasn't actually fighting the T-Rex, quite the opposite, he was trying to help it. Turns out this T-Rex, much like Billy as a kid, who wandered away from his dinosaur parents and needed to be rescued. Also, did I mention these dinosaurs were from space and the only reason they're on Earth is because their spaceship crashed? And after Billy agrees to fix their ship, they're so happy the dinosaurs invite him to their alien tea party because, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Now, if you're anything like me at this point in the comic, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, this is some real classic golden age superhero shenanigans. You don't really get these anymore. Well, brace yourself, everybody, because this is just the first of what will be many reasons why this brand new Shazam series is one hell of a throwback. Now, after saving the day, Billy returns to his own base of operations, the Rock of Eternity, a magical nexus point that he uses as his own personal clubhouse, wherein he does all of the things that kids his age do: eat junk food, play video games, watch old Batman film serials, bowl with giant bowling balls. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, Waid's characterization on Shazam is very much, even more so, he is a child inhabiting an adult superpowered body. Another question you might have too is, hey, didn't Billy have a whole family of supporting characters right now? Why is he playing in the Rock of Eternity all alone? Well, after that, met by Freddie Freeman, his best friend and foster brother, as well as the former Marvel Boy Jr. Now, this is where things get interesting. We discover as part of the bigger fallout of Lazarus Planet, magic in the DC universe was changed, meaning that now there is seemingly only enough Shazam magic for Billy and their sister Mary Marvel. But wait, that revelation is nothing compared to what comes next. You see, as Freddy greets Billy, he doesn't call him Shazam, he calls him Captain. As in Captain Marvel, Billy's old Golden Age Fawcett Comics name that he legally hasn't been able to use for decades now. The reasoning being that Freddy, Billy, and Mary had some sort of nautical adventure wherein Shazam ended up embarrassing himself, and ever since then, everyone has just called him the Captain, and it has taken off like wildfire. Oh my god, Mark Waid, you absolute mad lad, you did it. All these years later, and you cheekily found a way for Shazam to be called Captain Marvel again. This is gonna make some people so very, very happy, I just know it. It's after that Billy and Freddy decide to break from the superhero world because they need to go to school. Yes, they still live in Fawcett City, and Fawcett City is still just a suburb of Philadelphia, in case you're wondering. However, when the two boys leave, we see two shadowy figures implied to be Greek gods, who are not too happy at all to see what this young boy has managed to do with their amazing power in all the time that they've been gone. Billy and his family fighting Greek gods who are upset with how he uses his power. Again, sounds a little familiar to that movie that just came out, huh? If nothing else, Mark Waid takes this opportunity to explain in no uncertain detail why Billy would be willing to go back to regular old civilian life and ever so briefly give up his amazing superpower. The answer is actually kind of interesting. You see, as Billy explains when he's the Captain, he feels the wisdom of Solomon poking at him at all times. A voice that tells him to do his homework, eat his green vegetables, take his vitamins, and get a full 8 hours, you know, stuff that's absolute kryptonite to a kid. So, in between fighting crime and saving the day, Billy opts to live a regular life as a normal human, wherein he's allowed to grow and make mistakes, and not always have to hold himself to such a high heroic standard 24/7. Now, Billy is still a foster kid too, but as we discover, his group home has undergone some changes recently, mainly his two foster parents, who we don't actually see in this issue along with the rest of the foster kids, have opted to hire Talkie Tawny the tiger to help run the household and take care of the other kids. Geez, I'd say all we're missing right now is Uncle Dudley, but then I'm reminded that Uncle Dudley Marvel actually showed up in that Mary Shazam book. Now, while being Captain Marvel is very fulfilling, sadly it doesn't put any spending money in this young orphan's pockets, and because of that, Billy has decided to take up a rather interesting side hustle. What's he doing? Well, wouldn't you just know it, he's a podcaster with a YouTube channel who just so happens to chronicle all the many adventures of his super heroic alter ego, the Captain. Wow, a superhero YouTuber, that guy must be really handsome and really fulfilled in his life. Self-deprecation. What I find particularly funny about Billy Billy's The Captain podcast is that while the other characters have to dance around calling him Captain Marvel, the YouTube commenters just straight up do it. Now, it's while checking the comments on his newest The Captain video, Billy ends up getting word about a massive earthquake. People are trapped, lives need saving, and well, this looks like a job for the Captain. Billy springs into action, and using the strength of Hercules, he's able to save a young mother and her children from getting crushed under a bunch of debris. The news is also on scene, and once the dust settles, everyone wants to thank the Captain for his good work. Only here's the thing though, while the news cameras are running and the entire world is watching, Billy ends up going on an absolutely rage-filled tirade. He says that everyone should be grateful that he bothers to waste his time with such weak, puny individuals as the rest of mankind. After that, he snaps out of it, only too late when he realizes that, oh boy, this is going to be a PR nightmare as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Shazam issue number 1, everybody, and oh boy, do I have a lot of feelings on this one. I feel like only a writer with as much pull and as many years as the industry as Mark Waid could come on into DC and be like, yeah, everything you've been doing with Shazam and his assorted family and movie-adjacent characters since the New 52, that's all well and good, but I don't want to do that. I just want to do Captain Marvel. You know, the one I grew up with and the one I remember, and then they just let him do it. Again, I feel like there's a very vocal contingent of older Captain Marvel fans who are going to be absolutely over the moon about this new series because it reads as total vindication, but I also feel like it's going to drive a massive wedge within the larger community, as there are probably a good number of people who only started reading Shazam because of the New 52 stuff and because of the movies, and I think they're going to have a harder time gelling with, again, this more golden age throwback stuff that Waid is doing here. I also gotta wonder if at some point this story was meant to be part of that new golden age imprint, because the superhero stuff with Shazam, now renamed The Captain, is total classic golden age shenanigans, and yet the stuff with Billy still very much living in modern times, right down to him using modern slang like fire and bet. I don't know if they totally complement each other, and if maybe Waid, who again is older than my own father, probably should have picked one or the other. I will say with Dan Mora once again on art and totally killing it, it feels like DC is actually really getting behind Shazam for once. They want this first volume to sell, and putting such a AAA dream team on it is always nice to see a character like this finally get the spotlight and finally get the ways and means to hopefully reach a larger audience. Will it work though? I don't know, I guess only time will tell. Overall though, I will give this debut issue an 8 out of 10. It certainly is something I'm going to be talking about and thinking about for a while, no doubt about that.
Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.